Shalom, Kol Haloyim, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash, Shanya Kabad, Gadwala Requab, Zaquanyam Nawa, Wa, Shalayakim Nawa, and that's double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalawam, Wa Barakim, Labakarium, Shalayasharala, and that's peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. As you can see, this is from The Guardian, this article, and it's titled, Two Bodies Found in Burned Vehicle in Path of Raging California Wildfire. And a lot of prophecies have been happening around the world, especially over here in Babylon the Great, these high temperatures, heat waves, and then in other areas you have flooding. Just made a video about that in eastern Kentucky last week. More people still being found dead, a lot more missing. But I came across this article, and at first I just skipped past it rather. But as I read it and the Spirit made me think more about it, then I wanted to bring it out, because not only is this judgment from the Lord, but it also shows the prelude as to what's about to happen in a bigger fashion, on a larger scale, over here in Babylon the Great. And it's just something that we should consider. We should always think about the end and consider what the Lord is about to bring to this place. It helps to increase our fear, and it keeps us on that right path, Salakia, towards receiving salvation. So, two bodies burned, found burned in a vehicle. Let's read a little bit of this article. We're only going to read maybe the first 4 or 5 paragraphs, and that's it. And then we'll grab some precepts. It says, 2 people were found dead in the path of the wildfire raging across Northern California as firefighters raced to contain the blaze amid searing temperatures and impending thunderstorms. The McKinney Fire in Northern California, which has grown into California's largest this year, is one of several large fires burning across the U.S. West, and one of several concurrent extreme weather events battering the region. The fire exploded in size over the weekend in a largely unpopulated area in Klamath National Forest, just south of the Oregon state line. Flames had scorched more than 55,000 acres by Monday morning according to officials. Damn. It says, despite a massive firefighting effort, the blaze was 0% contained. Crews on the ground worked to keep the fire from moving east into the town of Rica, home to 7,500 people. Thousands of people in the area had been told to evacuate. The two victims, were found inside a charred vehicle stopped in a residential driveway. The local sheriff's office said the victims were not immediately identified. And that's all I'm going to read, because that's the point. As you keep reading further down, all it goes into is talking about the wildfires and the few different ones that's happening over there on the West Coast right now. But they're not going to get all into it because it's not the main, focal point. But more than likely, these people were burned alive in that car. I guess for whatever reason, they didn't evacuate, or the Lord rather didn't have them evacuate, and they were in that car. Maybe they fell asleep, and maybe they were drunk, who knows. Then they got knocked out, passed out. Then those wildfires came and burned them and the car up. So they were more than likely burned alive. And this isn't a picture of the car, this is a picture of a boat. But more than likely that's how the car looked too. That man, the car. And this is a reality that's coming to Babylon the Great, and that's why, let me do this. Sirach 18. One of my favorite scriptures to grab in the book of Sirach 18. I like reading both of these together. 18 verse 20, and then we'll jump down to verse 24. So 20 says, before judgment examine thyself. Before judgment examine thyself, and in the day of visitation thou shalt find mercy. And that's what all of us are hoping for right now. We're hoping for mercy, which means that before this fire comes to the world by way of those chariots and also from the nuclear missiles that are going to be shot during World War III. Yes, all of that is biblical prophecy. But before that happens, we have to examine ourselves if we're on that right path towards receiving salvation, if we're doing what's pleasing in the eyes of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Have we made enough videos? Are we praying enough? Do we have enough fear? Should I pray for more fear? Should I pray for more wisdom? Am I showing brotherly love? Right? Am I giving it my all, in terms of my sacrifice each and every single day? Just naming a few things that come to the top of my mind. But that's what we should be, or that's how we should be examining ourselves. Are we doing enough for the Lord? The scriptures talk about seeking him 10 times more. Now, jumping down to verse 24, it says, think upon the wrath that shall be at the end, and the time of vengeance when he shall turn away his face. And this is exactly why I wanted to bring out this article, because it makes you think about the end. It makes you think about that wrath that the Lord is coming with when he returns, that he's bringing to this world. Now, to bring out that judgment in a more literal sense, there's a few different scriptures, but the main one that I thought about that's very much explicit is Revelation 14. And we'll read verses 8 through 10. Verse 8 says, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that's America, is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel, meaning she made all nations consume her philosophies and her doctrine. Verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture, into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And that's Yahweh Shai. Because Yahweh Shai with those chariots are coming to also destroy this place. You're going to have fire, or some brothers like to call it beams, whatever. Some say lasers, whatever you want to call it, coming out of those chariots. And then also the nuclear missiles from World War III. When we get, 11 and 18, maybe 18 and 11, 11 and 14. Revelation 11, verse 14. The second woe was past, that's the Second World War, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So that's that third world's war. World's war, yeah. That's coming quickly, and it's going to be fought with nuclear missiles. It's not going to be a regular, world, or rather a regular war that's fought with guns. If I can find the scripture I'm thinking of, Isaiah 9 verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garment rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So World War III is going to be fought with nuclear missiles. And we have to consider this. Not only is it biblical prophecy, so it's going to come to pass, but when you read certain articles like this, it makes you just project your mind into the future, and you should say, damn, I don't want to be burned alive. Literally, I don't want to be burned alive. It's not going to feel good. Even before that, in the time of Jacob's trouble, there's so many different calamities that are going to be happening to these people, and then the Lord could save you. or I should say, it's going to save them rather, for a nuclear missile. This is the last precept, one of the very first precepts I heard that made me start coming out to the highways and byways. Malachi 4 and verse 1. Oops, let me highlight it. It says, "For behold, the day cometh," meaning it's not here yet. So this is an end time prophecy that's in the Old Testament, has not come to pass yet, but it will. It says, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch." So that's it. Just make sure we're always considering and thinking about the wrath that shall be at the end. I thought this was a noteworthy article that did that. It definitely made me consider and just keep in mind, and we have to examine ourselves, make sure that we're on point, walking on eggshells. We've been saying it for a while, but we're now closer than we ever have been. And all we're waiting for now is some kind of I'll say that again, event to happen, which could happen at any moment, any second, to make things really pop off over here in Babylon the Great, and then for that CHIP to really be pushed and made mandatory. Once that happens, then World War III is going to be right around the corner, and our job is to keep our faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, all for the purpose of hopefully receiving salvation, meaning being delivered from this upcoming World War III. That's what salvation is, being delivered from those nuclear missiles and being caught up in the chariot when Yahweh Shai returns. So I pray that this was edifying to the elect. Call Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.